saw you from the distance. Hey you, can we talk? Hey you, I think you're my subsistence. Hey you, or am I wrong? And now, you know, I lose my own side. My love is out of my mind. And you.
Alright guys, so this is the new Mclaren Senna, 2019 Mclaren Senna. Now, this is going to be one of those episodes of CarTalk where I'm actually going to walk around the car that I actually want to actually talk about photos. But anyway, this is a new Mclaren Senna, and these are the reasons behind why this car is possibly the most controversial car of 2018. Let's hit it.
It's true, you're all I want. You're all I want. I lose my own sight.
This has been named Senna after a famous racing driver who's known as Ayrton Senna, who's sadly passed away, but was known as by far one of the greatest racing drivers ever to come from Formula 1. To actually pay tribute to Ayrton Senna, if they have decided to make this, which is basically fully based on racing. Every single piece has been made towards the actual closest point to you being in a race car for the road. It like everyone says, how the closest to driving a race car for the road, you'll probably just have to buy something like a BSE mono, but McLaren have done it really well, and since this is paying tribute to Senna, this car comes with a hefty cost, somewhere very close to £1 million. Now, there are some features which I will go through right now to actually explain why this car is by far one of the most controversial cars of this year. So let's just start right off with the thing that's right over there, which is the engine. So this car has a 4-litre twin-turbocharged V8, which is pushing out 789 horsepower with 800 newton meters of torque. Now, since it comes with the car's complete madness of aerodynamics and downforce, this car is pushing 800 kilos of downforce, which is so mad. That is basically 2/3 of the car's weight of downforce. And when you're going at its top speed, which is 211 miles per hour, the car's downforce becomes so much that it has more downforce than the car's weight, which means you could quite possibly drive the car upside down. Although no one's probably going to test that out, because no one wants a £1 million car being absolutely destroyed. The car's 0 to 60 time can go from dead to gone in 2.8 seconds. But what really amazes me is because the car's got so much downforce, yet the car manages to do 0 to 180 in 16.5 seconds. So let's just go into the main point why I am making this video, which is why this car. Why is this car so controversial this year. Well, all goes down towards the styling of the car, because the car is so based on downforce and aerodynamics. A lot of people have been saying that it's been quoted as scientifically beautiful, which actually sounds pretty well said. Let's take these centre locks for an example. So this car comes with proper racing locks. So basically, what the way how you can tell these are racing locks is because one side's red and on the other they are blue. Basically, these are proper racing centre locks, saving quite a lot of weight. Now then, these kind of like glass windows, which are actually like so far down low that you can actually see a racing bucket seats inside. Basically, these have been made to actually give you a better racing experience, so that you can get faster lap times, so that you know exactly where the apexes of the racetrack that you're at are. Which is a very unique idea, but if you want these windows down here, you gotta pay a lot of money. And then further up, basically, you've got these fancy windows which are inspired by the Mclaren F1, as you may be able to actually tell by that centre piece that's just in the centre of the window. Now, these brakes have been made specifically for this car. These are probably, I think they are probably the most brightest brakes and most like intensively made brakes out of any other car. These brakes take 7 months to make a pair, and if these brakes are really good, then I guess that's alright. And then we'll just go into a little tiny little detail which you could just see why you actually know. It's actually quite massive. You could probably put a massive airplane on the top of this thing. It's a spoiler. So basically, this is a fully active rear wing, but so massive you would think it weighs quite a lot. But actually, this is amazing. McLaren have designed this wing so that it can generate 500 kilos of downforce just from this massive rear wing. I mean, you could have a McDonald's on this rear wing. It's enormous. Basically, even though this wing generates so much downforce, but the thing weighs 5 kilos. Like, I could easily lift that rear wing up. Yet it just generates so much downforce. It's just insane. Now, you guys would like just as well just talk about these flaps down there, which you can just see just underneath the rear wing because the wing's so massive. Basically, these are known as gurney flaps. So these are flaps which basically direct air, which is taken from the engine because the engine gets so hot. Basically, directs air from the engine, lifts it up and out off the way, which is basically making the air as effective as possible, so that you get the most downforce, yet as little a drawback as possible. Now, these exhausts. So basically, for those who are in the US, you would get 2 exhausts, which basically go in like half shapes of this heat reflector which goes around the exhaust. whereas us in the EU and also in the UK, we have to have this third one down there. Reason why is because the third one is actually it's a muffler, so basically means that the car is basically so loud that it doesn't really go in the lines of the UK or EU's noise regulations. Now you might just be able to see those little like still things over here, which are like linking the main carbon bit with this orange part of the window. Those are basically inspired by the Mclaren MP5 F1 car that Ayrton Senna raced in and won several races of F1 in, which is a really unique touch. It's just a little thing, but it's just a really nice touch. And let's just have a look inside of the car. Well, I can't exactly open the door and everything because it's all fenced off here, but basically you get basically this car does not come with AC or even a sound system as standard. The reason being is mainly just because the car is fully based on racing, so it does come with it as options, but it's purely for racing. And as you may be able to actually tell with the lower end window, you can see right through, which is really cool. I'm not sure if you will be able to actually see this because my face is in the way. Basically, there's a whole buttons there for the DNR systems and all that. Basically, so that not only is this for weight saving, but also since if you're a really short person or if you're really tall, no matter which place your seat is at, basically that system is attached towards your seat, so no matter what size you are, you can still reach the buttons. You see that orange strap there? Those are door straps. Now, because of weight saving and all that, they've decided to actually expose it, but to actually make it seem like it's a piece of artwork. You can actually have those painted in your car's secondary colour, which links in line with this car because this car is silver with orange accents, so this person is going for orange straps. Then lastly, sadly, this car doesn't come with the option, but right in the centre of these seats, you have an option to have a drinks bottle system, just like in a proper race car where the driver will be able to have a drink while he's racing. Basically, you've got an option to actually do it, but that's a very expensive option, as well as an option where if you purchase this car and put some money towards the Ayrton Senna Foundation on the carbon fiber side, so here, like inside of the car, you will have the Ayrton Senna signature on it, which, who knows, it may or may not make your car go in value even more than the car is already doing. Anyway, that is basically all of this £1 million Mclaren Senna. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, then smash that like button, subscribe, and press that little bell so you know exactly when I upload my next video. Apart from that, guys, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.